The next thing is you get your plug wires. So they're going to go from here to here. And this is going to go back in here like that, come back around to the back side. The wires are going to be sticking out like that, make a loop come out like that, go like that. Kind of like a buckhorn set of handlebars. So initially what I do is I just pull the wire straight out and cut it right in the middle. Because this is equal. If I had the coil way back here, I'd pull it back like that until it was equal, and I would cut it equal back here. That way you don't get too short or anything. This one would go probably like this. Usually go high, but you can go high or low. Pull it back halfway and then cut right in the middle, wherever your loop is at. That way you don't cut it too short. Okay, this one's going to be equal, so it's going to be in the front. Okay. Now you take this, stick them in the back side where your coil is at. Just shove it in the hole in the coil. See if you like it like that. Now you can have them come out low like that, or you can have them go up high around the top. Yeah, come on, where's the hole right over there? There we go. Alright, so there's your two different methods right there to do this. So it's just a matter you want to go in this way or around this way. Traditionally you come out the bottom and go this way because you have it less around less metal. The plug wire is going to short against any kind of metal, so you want air gap. On a race bike you'd always have it like this. You would never have it next to metal like this. Every time you go across a piece of metal you can short your wiring through. So that's why I don't do that as much. Also it rubs on the edges right here, eventually it wears through. So the better route is underneath, but you can go either way, it depends on what your look is. Cosmetics does matter. On these ones here, what I do, I put a zip tie right here and tie them together so they're not rubbing on the head right here. You don't want to have it rubbing on here, it will eat through. Now you can either have a big loop like this, or you can shorten them up a little bit. So you can shorten the things up a little bit. The more you shorten them up, the tighter it gets for it though. So you have to figure out if you want them long or short. So we can probably shorten about an inch or so, but I wouldn't go much more than that. Or you can leave them long, doesn't matter. You gotta make sure you leave about 3/4 of an inch for putting the terminal on, because you have to shorten it up to put the terminal on it. So don't cut them too short. I've also had guys come in underneath here, really tucked in tight. But like I said, you got to be careful for your clearances. It doesn't give you a lot of room to pull them off here. So there's just different ways that you can route this stuff. So it's a matter of how you want to do it. Now for me, so I like them like that. They come off, they're out of the way. Not a big issue. Now we can tighten them up a little bit, like I said. Pull them in there a little bit further. It's up to you. I don't really like over the top. Going through the sides is not too bad, as long as you got a good gap to everything. I could probably zip tie them up in there and keep them pretty tight. Probably would work all right. But having them nice like this and loopy is good too. So I'm going to have to shorten this up a little bit, see what it looks like. Do my dikes. And I'm going to cut off about 1.5 inches. It looks good. You got a nice curve going here. They're not so floppy. They're away from the cylinder pretty good, so I like it. FXR is equal, so whatever you do to one, you do to the other. So let me just take them and cut them equal length. So I cut 1.5 inches on the one, it's only 3/4 on this one. So it wasn't cut exactly in the center. Okay. Looks like they're still not equal. Yeah, they're pretty close. They're within 1/4 of an inch. Damn, throat. Okay, put them back on. Set this sucker up on really big so it doesn't cut much. Give yourself about that 3/4 of an inch at least. Cut and twist a little bit. I want to do more ripping to get it off than pulling and cutting. You don't want to cut through your carbon core there. So you want to do more tearing. You want to get through the black part, but the white part you just twist on it, it'll come off. Where's our end at? These are our ends. Little CRC for lube. Okay, so you want to see how much you got hanging out here. So when you put this on here, you want to make sure it's in a good spot. Looks pretty good to me. So this one here, I go ahead and pre-crimp this in there a little bit. Like that, so it'll stay in. Make sure you got a little bit of black sticking out the top here. Insulator. And I got heavy duty crimpers here. So it's like the other tool, it'll collapse all the way around the whole thing and then hit it in the titty in the middle. Try to get it so it's straight and also centered side to side. Give it a good squeeze. These are from MSD, but there's other ones out there. So it gives you a really nice crimp. So it's a really good precision crimp. And you got the black part, so it grabs a hold of that so it won't just pull off easily. You'll actually have to rip that off to get it off. But you want to make sure it's not jammed under here so you can install it pretty easy. So if you get too far over, probably too close for showing that. So there you go. So that's how it works. Alright. I'm going to do the other one real quick. It's this one. So cut through the black, rotate. I didn't squeeze this all the way down. Then pull this off and twist together. It should come off. There you go. And leaves an undamaged core. If you nick the core, you got to redo it. Now you can either put the boot on right now or leave it like I'm right now. It doesn't really, whichever works best for you. Both ways work just fine. There it goes. Looks good. Okay, now you take your CRC and snot it all up, including the boot. Slide it in there. kind of wiggle back and forth and rotate together, and it comes out easier. I usually go past what I need so I can make sure that goes all the way in and shove the boot on. You got to put these in there so the twist helps you, not hurt you. These ones kind of tight getting in here, so you might have to actually pull the coil off to really get a good bite in here.